Alright, so it's been a while. So I'm 16 and I'm starting college in September doing business and entrepreneurship because I didn't know what else to choose. I know in the long run I want to do something to do with psychedelics or philosophy, but I can't seem to find any career paths that would support that. Any ideas? Dylan. You're still young, mate, so I know it's hard to hear and very cliche, but patience is a very, very important virtue, especially because you're so young, and this whole life purpose thing can be this epic long puzzle which takes many years to put together, right? And what you're doing right now may not make sense to you now, but in a few years' time, you're going to look back and be like, oh my God, of course, I was supposed to do this thing because this led me to studying this, which led me to meeting this person, which connected me to this, and then blah, 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 right? It's like Steve Jobs said, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards, right? So in other words, you can only live life forwards, but understand it backwards. And this is kind of story of my life of trying to find all these different things and finding this perfect career path for myself. And it's been a long search, man. Like, man, I remember finishing high school and I studied like electrotechnology. Like I was going to become an electrician. And I sort of drifted away from that for a while, and I ended up doing like hospitality and becoming a bartender, and I'm like, I don't really like that. So then I studied to become a personal trainer. So I did that, did my certificate 3 and 4, and it was fun during the time. Met some cool people, and I decided, I don't know if I want to do that. So then I studied sport kinesiology, right? I did a year of that, and then that didn't quite work out. This was a very dark period of my life. I was like just super depressed and anxious and stuff. And yeah, didn't work out. I was like, how am I supposed to help people heal if I'm a fucking mess myself, right? I was waking up drinking Up and Go and V energy drinks and smoking a cigarette for breakfast. So, and I know I'm getting off track a little bit here, but I want to paint a point on how many different things I've tried. And even though it didn't make sense at the time and I felt lost, like, I don't know what to do, it all made sense in the future, right? So after I did that, after I quit that, I just worked at a factory. It didn't last very long because I'm like, this is the most depressing thing in the world. I'd rather do anything, right? So then what happened was, that's right, I crashed my car, right? And I thought it was like the worst thing to ever happen to me. Losing your car, especially where I lived, it was a pretty big deal, right? Because I used my car to get everywhere and everything's so far away. So even public transport, it was a bit difficult. So anyways, I crashed my car. I thought it was the worst thing ever, but really it was the biggest blessing in disguise because without my car, I couldn't become an electrician, right? Because I was basically an electrician's assistant during that time. You can't be a tradesperson without having a car. So that was out of the question. I'm like, fuck, I got to do something, but I don't want to work in this factory. So this led me to studying electric engineering, right? Because I was like, I'm good at maths. That's basically all I had. It wasn't my passion, but I was good at maths. I knew that I could do it. So then I studied that. I completed that. That was 2 years, right, of an advanced diploma. That didn't work out, right? Then I drank ayahuasca in the Amazon, came back, studied psychology. I'm like, the human mind, this is beautiful. I want to do this. But then I went to university and I was like, it just wasn't for me. I love psychology, and I'm constantly updating my knowledge on it because I think it's so vital for us to know, right? But I didn't like the academic structure of it. So then I ended up quitting that and started YouTube. Now, I'm not saying YouTube is for everyone because there are pros and cons with everything, but the point of this story is like how many different career paths I chose, which seem to be completely irrelevant of each other, but every single course that I went to, I always met someone and learnt something new. Like, with the kinesiology, for example, I met someone who recommended me this website to join a band, and I joined the band. We were a band for 3 years. We released an EP, and it was one of the best years of my life. This led me to meeting all these other people and learning this, and if I didn't meet that person, I wouldn't have found out about this, and then I wouldn't learnt about that, and if I didn't learn that, like, you know what I mean? Like, I can go into much detail on exactly how every single course helped me, but hopefully this story will inspire you to kind of just let go the expectations of, man, how am I supposed to find a career in psychedelics or psychology? It doesn't really matter. I think what's more important is to, and sorry to use the cliche, but to follow your heart. And more importantly, follow what excites you at this very moment. Don't think about, oh, will this help me in 20 years? It doesn't matter. The fact that you're doing something that excites you at this very moment, means that you're following your heart, right? Which will eventually lead you to the right place. Okay? And I think what's really important is to enjoy the process. And this is something that I regret, is that every single course that I did, I always had the end in mind. I wasn't really being present. I wasn't enjoying the process, and which I could have. So an advice, which you don't have to follow, but just coming from experience, I would really recommend being present with what you're doing. You're 16, you're going to university, you're going to study business and entrepreneurship. That's awesome. All that knowledge will help you in the future, even if it's not the perfect career for you to do right now. University is an awesome time, especially when you're young, to try new things and fail as much as you possibly can. Try out shit. If you don't like it, move on. Who cares? Make friends, get experience, gain knowledge, just live, man. It's all good. Just as long as you always have that in mind, right? And you're following what excites you, and you're constantly expanding your knowledge and your experience, and you're trying new things, and you're meeting new people. It's awesome, right? It's all good. And sometimes even meeting a new person, or meeting more people, or actually connecting with like-minded people, I should say, could be more useful than studying a course per se, right? Because as the saying goes, it's not what you know, it's who you know. But I would say it's both. It's important to know your shit, but also to connect with as many like-minded people as you can. And I know this was a very long-winded way of just saying, just follow what excites you. Don't let go of any expectations of like, will this lead me to the right career? As long as it aligns with your core values right now, that's all that matters. And it will make sense in the end, okay? So, it's all good, bro.